Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Obviously, Mike had a little health scare. Should that fight still be on, honestly?
I mean, it's not for me, really, but, you know, I just hope everyone's safe, and he's 58 years old. Should tell you all you need to know seeing pictures like that, but, you know, wish everyone the best.
No, I don't, nah. Because Mike Tyson, he's older. I know everybody, you know, they want him to still be Mike Tyson in his prime and everything like that, but he's still older, and health is nothing to play with. So I think they should, you know, postpone it, or, you know, just don't even make it happen.
Do you think that Jake Paul fight should happen?
Not under those circumstances, absolutely not. If Mike is having any kind of health issues, he shouldn't be in a boxing ring.
I don't think it should happen, to be fair. I don't think it should happen at all, but I suppose if it makes money, it makes sense nowadays. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard to turn down such a high payday. So yeah, man, I can't complain.
Man, I think Mike Tyson's having some medical problems. I don't think that he should still do it. But if he does, hey, more
way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout artist who's a contender.
Always was long dudes that had a good jab. Later in his career when he wasn't moving his head anymore. So I don't know if Jake can keep Mike off with his.
Joe Rogan has demanded to cancel the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Similarly, UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping firmly believes that the upcoming bout should be canceled following Tyson's recent health scare on May 26. While on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles, the 57-year-old experienced an ulcer flare-up necessitating medical help after becoming nauseous and dizzy 30 minutes before landing. In response to the health issue and the altercation on his YouTube channel, Bisping said that the adage does not cover this buildup. There is no such thing as bad press. Bisping mentioned that
Tyson was involved in a medical emergency. Paramedics had to be rushed onto the plane. They asked for a doctor. It flashed up on people's screens. Is there a doctor on board? The doctors had to come on and take Mike Tyson off the plane. It is not a good look, and this is not good press when you're trying to promote a fight and you're 58 years.
Jake Paul addressed rumors that the bout might be canceled following Tyson's health scare on social media by saying nothing has changed despite expressing respect for the combat sports legend. Bisping criticized the continuation of the fight due to the significant 30-year age difference, highlighting the glaring mismatch. Bisping expressed his respect for Tyson, noting that it took massive courage to go up against Jake Paul. He speculated that the incident might have been caused by an ulcer flare-up, though he admitted he didn't know much about ulcers. Bisping also pointed out that a man who was nearly 58 years old shouldn't have issues sitting on a plane for a few hours, implying that someone in the prime of their life wouldn't face such problems.
No problem with Mike Tyson. He's 58. I respect him. This is taking massive balls of him to go in there against Jake Paul, even though he's by far the better boxer. He's got way more experience, miles on the clock, long in the tooth, and he's got medical emergencies, and apparently he's got ulcers, okay?
Moreover, Bisping emphasized that the circumstances presented a bad look for boxing and Jake Paul. He stated that this situation exemplified why a fight like this should not proceed. Bisping clarified that he wasn't criticizing Mike Tyson, but acknowledged Tyson's desire to test the waters, make some money, and feel alive by doing what he does best. However, he noted that Tyson's time had passed, using the metaphor that the ship had sailed and the plane had left the runway, albeit delayed, because it was hot on the plane, which he speculated might have caused Tyson's ulcer flare.
Just a great example of why a fight like this should not be going ahead. Mike Tyson is not the same person. We know there's video clips out there, and he's looking fast, and he's looking brutal, and he's looking deadly, and he's got the power. But it's easy to edit up a quick little TikTok video. You know, a few seconds looking good. You can see the cut shots. You see the interlude. Their editor is not as good as my guy, John Brannigan, okay? You can see the edit, okay? You can look good for a couple of seconds, but try doing that sustained over 8 2-minute rounds against a guy that's in his prime. I'm not talking shit about Mike Tyson. I'm talking shit about Jake Paul. Mike Tyson wants to test the waters, see if he's still got it. He wants to make some money. He wants to feel alive. He wants to get back in the ring, okay? And he wants to do what he does best, okay? But that time has passed. That ship has sailed. That plane has left the runway. but not for a while because it was delayed and it was hot on the plane. And then Mike Tyson got an ulcer flare-up and had to leave on a...
The bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul should be called off, according to Rick Hatton. The hitman denied that the fight was boxing, calling it an absolute joke and maintaining that it was entertainment. In a candid and intense conversation with Lord Ping, the 45-year-old Hatton passionately called for intervention to prevent the two from clashing, emphasizing the need to protect Tyson's well-being and preserve the integrity of the sport. Hatton fumed, "I think it's a complete shambles. To be honest with you, someone needs to have a word and try to stop it from happening. I've always said that the influencer fighting game is entertainment, and I've never really had an issue with influ or boxing. If people want to watch it, then that's fine, but let's call it what it is, entertainment." Hatton added that there was room for both traditional boxing and influencer boxing as long as the big fights continued to be made. He argued that YouTubers fighting wasn't harming the sport. Instead, boxing was hurting itself by not making the big fights happen. Hatton expressed no resentment towards anyone making money from these matches, wishing good luck to Tommy Fury, KSI, Jake Paul, and others. However, he described this particular fight as a complete fiasco and called for someone to intervene and take control of the situation, emphasizing that while money talks in the entertainment business, certain limits should be respected. The XF fighter from Manchester asserted that Paul would be devastated if he seriously injured Tyson in their match, considering that the legendary baddest man on the planet was one of his idols. Growing up, Hatton said if he were to knock him out, he'd be knocking out one of his heroes. How could he live with that on his conscience? It doesn't matter how much money is involved. How would you be able to look at yourself in the mirror? I think it's completely crazy. It's a joke. Nothing surprises me in the boxing and entertainment business. Despite the outcry, Iron Mike remains resolute about proceeding with the bout. Paul, however, has taken to Instagram to address a taunt from the ex-heavyweight champ. Tyson made his declaration loud and clear, opting for the digital podium of Instagram, a realm he's frequented much like his ex-stomping ground. In his digital decree, he cemented his commitment to the impending clash with Paul on July 20th in Arlington, Texas. What stirred eyebrows was Tyson's nonchalant assertion that he wouldn't even require full throttle, hinting that he could secure victory even at less than optimal performance. With Paul's mere 10 bouts under his belt, Tyson's seasoned record of 58 fights casts a daunting shadow over the impending showdown. Paul has chosen to find some small measure of humor in the circumstances. The problem child reacted to Tyson's prodding in a way that could be considered more brutal than angry. With only 3 words in return, he gained the upper hand by stating, "Hey, that's mean." Joe Rogan has expressed serious concerns about Mike Tyson's safety, fearing that Jake Paul might inflict significant harm on the boxing legend. Rogan has notably highlighted the risk of Tyson potentially suffering fatal consequences in the highly anticipated match against Paul. The substantial age difference between Tyson, who will be 31 years older than Paul at the time of the fight, has already caused an uproar among boxing fans. Even before the bout was officially sanctioned, Rogan's apprehensions about a dire outcome were evident in a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Joe Rogan pointed out that the fight's approval was still uncertain, citing potential protests that could result in its rejection. It's worth mentioning that this podcast was recorded a few weeks ago, and since then, the fight has received official sanctioning. Reflecting on the situation, Tyson emphasized the possible ramifications, warning that if he were to sustain severe injuries or, in a worst-case scenario, die during the bout, it would provoke major concerns.
If Tyson dies, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, if you have something like that, if you have, look, if
That'd
this,
be the end of the
right.
Yeah, that'd be the end of that experiment.
Let's imagine it in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout.
Despite Rogan's genuine concerns for Tyson's well-being, he hasn't ruled out the possibility of Iron Mike staging a comeback and potentially delivering a knockout to Paul. The UFC commentators speculated that if Tyson could regain even 70% of his former physical prowess, it would present a formidable challenge for Paul, especially given that Tyson's power, as evident from his bag work, appears as potent as ever.
Ender. Well, guess what? Jake Paul could be that guy if we didn't think of him as Jake Paul. If you look at the people he knocks dead, when he knocked dead Tyron Woodley with one punch, that dude
I was there.
Fucking crack.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like that's what I'm saying, exactly what you're saying. We don't want to give him credit because it's Jake Paul.
Exactly.
But we gotta wake up and realize that he's still 27, young, and for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he's had the best coaches working with him one-on-one.
Probably 90% of the power. 70% of the physical ability and 90% of the power, because the power's not gone. You see it when he hits a bag.
Yeah, he's still got the power.
The power's there, 100%. But he's had a bunch of back issues. He had real bad sciatica.
Having problems walking and
He's
stuff.
walking with a cane.
Yeah.
So, but who knows what they've done.
Rogan highlighted Tyson's previous health challenges, particularly his severe sciatica, which had once forced him to rely on a cane. Despite these issues, Rogan recognized the transformative potential of treatments such as stem cell therapy, hinting that Tyson was probably receiving exceptional medical attention. Remarkably, even at the age of 57, Rogan observed that Tyson could still be highly profitable if he maintained good physical condition, a fact they found truly remarkable. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.